All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? I am Is There No One Else, and the video I'm bringing you today is going to be an update for my Stamina Nightblade build for the Dragonhold / Harrowstorm DLC. This is the build that I've been running for the last 2.5 weeks. It's different than the previous video on my channel. I'm not gonna lie, I've definitely gone through some growing pains with Stamblade this patch. As far as, what I've wanted to run, I found a build that works, and then all of a sudden I run across, a group of people it doesn't work very well against, then I'm back to the drawing board because I feel like, you want something that works against everybody. And, I'm going to cut it short, but sometimes you got to go back to the drawing board for a class and rethink some things. And I'll talk about that more at the end, but if you care to listen to that. But we're going to dive into the gear, and it's going to be a little bit different, but it's not a whole lot different than what you would normally see. But this is my 810 CP account on Xbox, so I am running Lava Foot Soup and Saltrees. My videos that I post the last few days on PC, I have like 540 CP, and so because I have lower stats, I have Undaunted 7, I opt for Dubious Camera and Throne. Now, obviously, once I get Undaunted 9 over there, and my account CP gets maxed a little bit higher, I will go to Lava Foot there as well. But I need the more bulk stats on Dubious, and I'm willing to sacrifice a little recovery. As you guys saw, my recovery is just, not super great over there, but I want to make sure I kill stuff, and that's what you kind of have to sacrifice when you're giving up CP. So that's what I did there. I'm also running tripods. As far as the gear goes, like I said, you can adjust a bunch of different things. I'll go through all the options, but the gear isn't really that big of a deal. I'm running New Moon Acolyte. I got New Moon Acolyte, Nirnhoned. You can run Disease Enchant, you can run a Shock Enchant, you can run Poisons, whatever you want to do. I currently have Poisons on my bar, but yeah, I run a Nirnhoned Maul because I am running Onslaught. If you want to run Onslaught and you want to run a group play and take out a few people, especially for this double AP event, Onslaught is a great ability to do that, and it allows you to do more damage to more people. That's why I'm running Onslaught over Incap right now. If you decide to run Incap, you could take off New Moon. You can put on Spriggans here. You can front bar Spriggans or whatever. Like, they're both good options, but New Moon's better for Onslaught. That's why I'm running it. You guys haven't seen this set yet. It is a craftable set, new to Dragonhold. Weapon crit, spell crit, weapon and spell damage, physical and spell pen, and then weapon and spell damage. So it's just a ton of damage. You always have it on your front bar. It's increased the cost of your active abilities by 5%. I am an Imperial on Xbox, so I get 3% reduced cost. I don't even notice it. On PC, I am an Orc. You can go Wood Elf. I do find that these classes are better for my specific playstyle, so that's why I adjusted accordingly. I don't know which one I like more, Imperial or Orc. I mean, it's up to you and what you want. Look at the class passives and see which one you want more. Did another change. For the first time in about 3 years, I am not running the Master's Bow. It's been a long time. This is the change that I made, and this is what made a huge difference for me. So I'm running the Potentates Bow. As you guys see, that's reduced the damage taken from players by 5%. I'm running Infused with the weapon and spell damage enchant, so I still light attack on the back bar to proc this buff. This just gives me a lot of resistances, and it makes me a lot tankier when I'm on my back bar, when I'm kiting around, all these sorts of things. It just boosts my survival through the roof. Now, I've typically always run Master's Bow, and I have a good reason for it, and I'll talk about that here in a minute, but I switched to Potentates, and so now we have a crafted set with a purchasable set, so it's super easy to get. As far as monster set, I like Bloodspawn. I tried Balorg. Can definitely survive with Balorg, can definitely dish out a little bit more burst damage with Balorg. Like the thickness, since I'm running Onslaught, I like the ulti-gen of Bloodspawn. I did try Troll King as well. Troll King was good. The healing was good in some fights. Sometimes I was just taking more damage. I just liked the reliability of Bloodspawn. I felt like everything that Bloodspawn was giving me is just a little bit better than Troll King. If you disagree with me and you want to run Troll King, and you play a little bit more of a kitey playstyle and you want the healing, absolutely, do that. That's not a big deal. But those are the options. You can absolutely run Veladreth. You could run Selene as well. I'm doing a lot of cloak, heavy, surprise attacks, and so those types of things proccing at the same time would be a lot of burst. Those are good options. I have not tested them on this build, so I would say try them and see if you like them, but those aren't bad options either. New Moon Acolyte, this is a 5-1-1, 5 medium, 1 light, and 1 heavy, and then my other set that I'm wearing is Shield Breaker. So Shield Breaker is a great set, and it's a great set for Stamina Nightblade. because you have max stamina, stamina recovery, and weapon damage. 2, 3, and 4 piece is just great. You typically want to build in some recovery on a stamina Nightblade anyways. Boom, you got your recovery. You get increased damage against everybody, and then double against damage shields. You know, typically Sorks, although there aren't many Sorks, you know, they are a pain in the ass to kill. Having 12% more damage against them is very effective in nuking down like pet Sorks and stuff like that, so I like Shield Breaker for that reason. It also buffs our Onslaught. And so if you don't want to run Shield Breaker and you want to run Spriggans in New Moon, you know, like I said, that is a great option. That's what I was running before. If you are running Onslaught, I would take out Spriggans and I would put Shield Breaker on. Those are the two big differences. As far as other options go, you could absolutely run Hulking Draugr. You know, it'll give you comparable damage and it'll increase your healing a little bit, plus a big stat pool. You could run, I mean, I haven't run Bone Pirate in ages, but I suppose you could run Bone Pirate. Leviathan isn't a terrible option. Sench isn't a terrible option. There's a lot of good Stamina Nightblade sets out there that you can run that would be very effective. But I like the Shield Breaker for the recovery, especially since I'm wearing New Moon on the front bar. Having that little bit of recovery is nice. We are also running all infused with weapon damage and chance on the jewelry. So 5 body, 5 Shield Breaker, both bars, and then I'm front barring New Moon. So 3 body pieces plus the maul. As far as our skills go, we'll go into our character sheet really quickly. We have 16 points in a health. Now I am running an Imperial since I have 2,000 health and 2,000 stamina. My stats are going to be a little bit higher than yours. That's part of the reason why I chose it. If you're a Wood Elf, I think you want to be around 25k health. And so if you're a Wood Elf with this build, your stamina is not going to be as high as mine because you don't have as many max stats as I do. So you'll probably have 1 to 2k less stam. I don't really think it's a big deal. Like I said, I mean, I'm running like 27 or 28k stam on PC, and it's not a problem. But I want around 25k health in PvP. This is my back bar. Resistances with Crit Resist, Lava Foot, Warrior Mundus Stone. When we go to our front bar, we buff up with Rally. We look at our character sheet. We have 1983 stamina recovery, 4890 weapon damage. So 4890 weapon damage when we pop a pot. We have 2234 stamina recovery. Keep in mind we have the reduced cost, 3% from Imperial, as well as the 100 mag stam and health recovery we get while we're in melee range. So we have a little bit more recovery with this, as well as the reduced cost that you don't see. With continuous attack, this jumps up to like 2500. 4890 weapon damage with our Berserk enchant on our back bar. It's like 5300-ish weapon damage, so it's pretty good. And keep in mind we also have Shield Breaker, so a lot of our weapon damage is not seen on there. And then as far as skills go, Executioner, Camo Hunter. Camo Hunter is just a great skill. It gives you crit bonus. It gives you, Major Savagery, which is the crit bonus. It gives you Minor Berserk when you attack somebody from their side, which is what you want to do with Surprise Attack anyways. So you drop their armor, you get Minor Berserk. Also, it's a Fighter's Guild skill, so you gain 3% more weapon damage by having it on your front bar. So it just makes sense to run. You can run Ambush. I do find Ambush to be a little slow. I think Ambush in general is just kind of clunky. You know, sometimes like you ambush in, doesn't do a ton of damage. Sometimes it doesn't really work. Like I just took it off my bar. I got frustrated with dealing with it, to be honest. So Rally, Relentless Focus, Surprise Attack, and then Onslaught. Now, like I said, you don't have to run Onslaught. You can run in cap, but for this double AP event, I think Onslaught is, like you want the AoE cleave. You could run Dawnbreaker as well. Dawnbreaker would be fantastic. So that's our front bar. If we go to our back bar, we look at our. Oops, sorry about that. I got Temporal Guard on the back bar, so this gives us our minor protection. Now, since I'm wearing Bloodspawn, I do not need Temporal Guard here. You could put Bow Ulti here. You could put Soul Siphon here. I honestly think Soul Siphon is ruined now due to the cast time on it. In the past, you used to cast Soul Siphon, when you're at low health and you wanted that quick burst. Now that it has a cast time, I'm typically getting nuked before I can get that ability to go off anyways. So I don't find that ability super useful anymore, so I'd rather go Temporal Guard or Ballista. Temporal Guard makes you thicker. Ballista just gives you that added pressure. They're both really good options. Resolving Vigor, Reaper's Mark. Now, I took off Poison Injection and I put on Reaper's Mark. Now, this is where I change things, and I'm going to go into the in-depth detail here. But I've been looking you know, when you're building a character and you're kind of reaching a point, like you just keep going back to the same things over and over and over again. You're like, well, I'm gonna run this, and then, you know, I'm gonna run Master's Bow, which means I can fit 2 5-piece sets, a front bar set and a body set, and then a monster set. And when you run Master's Bow, you kind of get stuck into like, okay, well, I need to be a little bit thicker, so I'm probably gonna wear Bloodspot, you know, or I need to cloak a lot, you know, so I need to adjust my food. You have those sorts of things. My buddy Blappin brought this up, and he's like, you know, why don't you try Reaper's Mark? And I kind of laughed because the skill's kind of useless in general. And then I looked at it a little bit more, and I was like, you know what? Dots are garbage right now. Dots are absolutely garbage. Poison injection is a terrible dot. You're not really applying pressure with poison injection. You know, it's nice at range for an execute. You know, if somebody's running away and they have 5k health, you can quick snap off like a 5k poison inject initial tick and take them down. Venom Arrow is nice for the interrupt, but Reaper's Mark is also nice. You get major fracture, so you get, you know, 5280 reduction in their armor resistances, which when I compared, I went on the PTS or on the build editor, and I compared poison injection with the Master's Bow versus Reaper's Mark and what was giving me more damage, and then I tested it. Reaper's Mark gives me more damage on a person than the poison injection buff does. And what this also is it's a free cast. And so if you're fighting a Templar, and we all know this, you hit a Templar with poison injection, they're going to purge it off them. You hit them with this, they're going to purge it off them. But this is free, and poison injection is not. So if we want to play the game of attrition and try to drain resources, and they want to purify this, it's not going to cost us anything. You know, it's going to cost them magic. And so these little things kind of add up a little bit, in my opinion. On top of that, you know, this does give you major berserk after they die, but it's only for 5 seconds. In a solo situation, you're not really capitalizing on this a ton. You know, the major berserk is kind of it's not that big of a deal. But what it does do is it gives you the major fracture. It gives you the heal after they die, which is a pretty big tooltip. That heal is actually very noticeable. So in small group play, I'll put this on somebody. When we kill them, if I have my burst, I then go line up my burst on the next person. And so this skill is actually very good in a duo or trio situation. Like if you know you can take out somebody and you don't have to use your ultimate combination, and your buddy can, you put the mark, they die, you get berserk, you go in on the next person. That's how you're going to get your 11 to 14k surprise attacks like I've been posting. So this is one of the ways you get major berserk off it. But the heal and the free cast major fracture are why I'm running this. And, you know, honestly, every once in a while, you know, you onslaught somebody, they die, and you still have your spectral bow. So now you have major berserk on your spectral with full pen, and then you hit the next guy and you just take a big chunk of their health bar out. But major berserk is a very small aspect to this skill. It's not really applicable in most situations, but, you know, it's not bad. So I found roughly I was doing 3% more damage on my burst abilities with Reaper's Mark compared to poison injection with the Master's Bow with my specific build. And then I would also have 25%, potentially 25% more on top of that in some specific situations. So I go from a little bit more damage to a lot more damage potentially. And so it's one less thing to cast, but that's why I did it. And now I get to take the Master's Bow off. I have similar damage as the Master's Bow with a free cast, and now I'm rocking Potentates on the back bar, which makes me a lot tankier, allows me to stay in the fights a little bit longer, be a little bit thicker to survive all the AoE damages that's happening, because, you know, honestly, Cloak isn't very good. So that's why I did it. If you want to talk about it more, I mean, that's the explanation. If you disagree with me, that's fine. You know, wear Master's Bow. That's fine. Venom Arrow is very nice. The Interrupt is nice. Poison Injection is okay. I'm really enjoying Reaper's Mark, especially in a duo or trio situation. I would give it a shot. But speaking of trash Cloak, we are running Shadowy Disguise. Everything pulls you out of it, but every once in a while, it's just nice to have that guaranteed crit from stealth. So I will Cloak, heavy attack, surprise attack somebody, just to set them off balance or stun them on the ground. Guaranteed the crit from stealth. Allows me to maneuver around a fight, pick and choose my battles every once in a while. Siphoning attacks or leeching strikes. This is a flex. You know, you could obviously put Shadow Image here. I've been running Shadow Image for 2 years. You know, I haven't taken Shadow Image off my bar until now. You could put it back on. You know, it's really not a big deal. I'm messing around with bars. all the time. I think you could absolutely put Shadow Image here. You could put Leeching Strikes here where Shuffle's at. You could do a bunch of things. I kind of like Shuffle for dealing with Templars. Like having the major evasion is just very nice for dealing with sweeps and jabs. You get toppled and somebody's hitting you with sweeps. Having that damage mitigation from that AoE is very nice. So I'm having a hard time taking Shuffle off my bar right now, and so that's why it's on. Leeching Strikes gives me a little bit more sustain. I don't think you necessarily need it. Like I said, you can put Shadow Image here. I bounce back and forth between the two. I'm just trying a bunch of different things. It is what it is, but that's my bars, how I have it set up. If we go into our CP, we have 56 in a Warlord, 1 into Siphoner, 64 Mooncalf, 19 Arcanist, 64 into Tenacity, 66 Tumbling, 27 into Blessed, 39 Physical Weapons Expert, 81 Mastered Arms. Now, I did this for the Tactician passive. We do not have a CC on our bar currently. And so dodge rolling to set casters off balance is very nice for a stun. We also have surprise attack from stealth that is also a stun. We have heavy attack from stealth, which is also a stun. We have multiple ways that we can get a CC, but typically we're not running a CC on our build because we need all the damage we can get, and we need to try and just nuke a health bar and as quickly as possible. And honestly, a CC ruins the ability to burst people right now. It's just not worth it, so this is why I did it. On my 540 CP account, my CP is a little bit different. I think I have like 60 points in a Mastered Arms, none in a Physical Weapon, and then I have them over here. 56 Mighty, 11 Piercing, 56 Precise Strikes. Keep in mind, we have Major Fracture. We have Major Fracture. We also have the Surprise Attack from the side, armor reduction buff. We're also running a Maul. So although we don't have like quote-unquote like a ton of pen, we have multiple different armor reduction abilities, so we don't, piercing is like the last thing you really need, in my opinion. 81 iron. We're also running Onslaught, so Onslaught ignores resistances. There's lots of reasons to not run pen in this build. Nern Maul, like I said, I mean, you can go look at my damage. I'm not lacking damage on this build. I'm lacking recovery on PC, but I'm not lacking damage. 81 Ironclad, 62 into Resistant, 64 Hardy, 56 Ally Defender, 2 into Thick Skin, 5 into Quick Recovery. So that's my CP. I'm not saying it's perfect or anything like that, but that's the build. I got some clips for you guys at the end here. We can go through them and show you the, this build on an 810 account, but it's the same build I'm running on my 540 CP. A lot of people have been asking about it and why I'm running what I'm running, but I really do like the Potentate switch. I like switching to the Potentates back bar just for that 5% damage mitigation. It really does add up. It allows you to run another monster set besides Bloodspawn. I ran Balorg successfully. I really liked that, but because I'm currently running Onslaught, I like Bloodspawn. If when I go back to Solar or Incap, I'm going to adjust my monster set. Maybe I'll go back to Balorg. Maybe I'll try Selene. Maybe I'll try Beladreth. I don't know. There's a few options there. Troll King was also very nice, but yeah, that's the build. If you guys have any questions, as always, please comment in the section below. I will do my best to answer them. Let's dive into the clips. Alright, so this first fight, we're outside of Alessia, and we were just showing up to this resource. I was getting flipped red. There's 2 reds here, and the reds were sieging the keep, so we decided to come in on these guys. Attempt to take them out as quickly as possible before the rest of the group showed up. So you can see in this fight that I am wearing Balorg. Now, what I like to do in these build videos, guys, I like to go through the options, and I like to show the pros and cons of, what I've tried, just so, you know what you could try as well, or whatever, and you could see the strengths and weaknesses of each thing. So, in this clip, I'm running Incap, and I'm running Balorg. You see I hit that guy really hard. 10k surprise attack on the next guy because of Major Berserk, and Balorg up. And now this guy's going to go down. So, that's the nice thing about Reaper's Mark, is you can get some very quick burst. This person's going to leave, so I'm going to keep my buffs up, keep my rally up. But yeah, Balorg was good. I just didn't like it when I was running Onslaught. If I'm running Incap, it felt a lot better. A little bit on the squishier side, but it was doable. We get another quick kill there. Now you see they're all starting to pile in. We got 4 here, and we just want to try and take these guys out as well. So I'm just going to try and focus this guy. He takes a stun for my buddy. Decided to keep my buffs up once again, get my shuffle down. Got this guy healing in the background, so we're going to put a mark on him. Go in with light attack, surprise attack. He's going to back up. I don't know why I've been doing this lately, but I randomly start crouching. It's really annoying. I don't know how I developed that habit, but you see a bunch of people showing up, and To keep my buffs up once again, we're going to try and focus this person in the front because they're over pursuing a little bit. Going in kind of hard on my buddy here. Now they're going to try and focus the ads. The ads are going to CC him. The buddy gives him a leap. Takes a bunch of damage here. I'm light attack, surprise attack, bashing. Going to keep my rally up, keep my shuffle up. Going to switch. They just have a lot of healing coming in. And so I'm going to focus on this person. Wanted to try and take out the healer in the back. At this point, there's just too many people, so we're just going to kite inside here really quickly. Give this guy a 7k surprise attack. Go in for the execute. He just gets out in time. This guy's in here by himself, and so we're going to try and get a quick kill there. And we do, so we get another kill. And now at this point, they just got a bunch of people on the flag, and we're just going to keep our buffs up. You know, stay in the tower. We just can't really push out there. They've got an enemy negate. Now we got enemy pets. We got a pet orc in here. Somebody coming in with some impulse. So we're gonna by himself. Light attack, surprise attack. He takes a stun plus a crescent. He dies. And now you see them all piling at the same time. I take a meteor. Wasn't able to dodge it. Meteor is super buggy. Another meteor. Luckily, I still have my CC immunity up. They're coming up with the Destroy. So now we're gonna kite a little bit. We're gonna kite around the side. And at this point, you just see them all kind of piling after us. We're going to take a vulnerability ult, so we're going to kite out of that. And at this point, we're just trying to stay alive. They're doing their ulti dump on us. We've had 2 meteors dropped on us, a vulnerability ult, a Destro ult, and so now we're just going to try and pick people off. And you can see in fights like this is why I switched to Onslaught. Like, in that specific situation right there, Onslaught would have been amazing. I'm wearing in-cap, though, so I have to kind of spread them out. Give this guy an in-cap with an execute. He dies. We get a quick kill there, and now at this point, we're just going to try and keep the body down. I'm going to use this little line of sight around the corner. You see they have siege set up as well, so I'm going to go around the back. Going to see if I can pick anybody off in the back. They must have respawned to keep. So we're just going to buff up with rally, keep our relentless up, keep our siphoning up. We got this guy by himself. My buddies get that kill, and they backed off onto the resource. So they got siege, they have ads, and they have the numbers. So I'm going to sneak out there. I'm going to try to get this kill. You know, that's one thing a Nightblade can do. So light attack, heavy attack, plus an in-cap, surprise attack, execute. We get the kill on that guy. Now I have Balorg, so I hit this guy with a 14k spec bow. He's taken off. He doesn't want to play anymore, and so we're just going to go focus the ads and finish up this little fight. So, yeah, just a quick little fight. Wanted to highlight, you know, what the build looks like with Balorg and all those sorts of things, what the build looks like with in-cap. You know, I'm not saying it's the best in the world or anything like that. It's just, you know, yeah, like Balorg worked out pretty well. I just liked the blood spawn for the ulti gen. So this next fight here, we had just wiped down at Bruma. This is during the AAP event. It's very laggy. There's going to be times where I just couldn't activate my heals. I didn't have any. You know, the game doesn't work right on console. I think that's universally known. I'll just try to point that out when it happens. You know, sometimes it works okay, and then sometimes it doesn't, and it just kind of happens suddenly. So they killed us at Bruma, and we knew they were coming up here, so we decided to wait at the resource. And at this point, I'm still wearing Balorg, and I'm still running in-cap. And I wanted to show the issues in a duo. My buddy Blappin here is on his Mag DK, and Stanblade Mag DK doesn't have nearly the synergy that Magplar and Mag DK does. So he gets a quick kill there. I in-cap this person. I go in for the execute. He blocks. They get a couple heals. So now I'm going to back up once again, keep them by the resource. I hit that guy with a 17.5k spectral. We get another kill there, so we got 2 bodies down. And now we're going to back up inside the tower because it was a lot down at Bruma. We knew what the group was, so we're backing in. And at this point, you know, Lappin gets CC'd, and he can't CC break. He's trying to block, and like nothing happens. He gets spun on a bunch of ground AoE, so now I'm going to shuffle out, cloak, and I'm still getting spun on. I get fossilized in the dots. I'm going to pop my vigor. I'm going to come up top here, keep my buffs up, and go around the side. And so, and this time I peel back through them. You see I got about 6 people here. Just do a quick count to see how many people there are. I like to kite a little bit just to get a kind of an idea of what the numbers are before I go in on anybody. So light attack, surprise attack, chunks his health, hit him with an 11k spectral. He's almost dead, but there's just too many people here. So I couldn't finish up the kill. Light attack, surprise attack, 16k in cap. That guy's dead. So we got another quick kill here, and now we're just going to try and kind of stay in the body a little bit, see if we can you know, go to anybody to come up here and revive them. You see they're all down there in the resource. You see got a few people coming in, so we're just going to light attack, surprise attack, kill this ad real quick, get the buff. And now we got a Sork. and so we're just going to mark him up. We're going to hit him with a quick in cap, Spectral Bow since we had it. Go for the execute, and just as that happens, I'm getting Radiant spammed. He streaks through just enough to recover. You see the Ash Cloud coming up. You see the ground AoEs. You see that there's about 4 or 5 more people. My buddy Blappin came back in to help out, and yeah, once again, this game's not working very well. A bunch of people are piled on top of him. I can't fear. I can't do anything really to keep him off. I don't have an AoE streak. I don't have any, sort of healing for him. Just not the best combination in the world. If I had Onslaught, maybe I could have applied more pressure to help out. This guy streaks through me and streaks off the side. You see about 6 people pile up, so I go off the side here. We have an Atro in the background, and so I'm going to back away from that. You see I'm low on resource at this point, so I'm just going to kite, hit this guy with a mark, light attack, in cap, Spectral Bow, quick execute. We get a kill there, and now I'm going to try and stay on the bodies, which was a mistake. I should have heavy attacked more. We have an in cap here. He dodges it. I go for the kill, and I'm at low resources. You see all the dots coming. You see the spin to win coming in. I'm in the Death Roll. I pop a pot. I go to get some reprieve up here, and I die from a frag going through the wall. So really annoying, but at the same time, like if I'm wearing Balor in that or Bloodspawn in that spot, I have a little bit more recovery. I have a little bit more ulti-gen, I can activate ultimates, and so that was part of the reason why I took in-cap off, specifically for this event. In-cap's not bad, but when you're fighting, when you're playing with somebody that's not as mobile as you, you want that extra ability to just womp somebody, or womp multiple people that are all piled on. And I could have applied a lot more pressure with Onslaught in those situations than in-cap, and so I took it off. This guy takes a 10.8k surprise attack, he dies. We got another Pet Sork here, so I'm going to line up my Reaper's Mark on him, light attack, surprise attack. You see he's running a couple pets, plus he's got the Infernal Guardian, and so we're just trying to take him out because he's going to apply a lot of pressure. He's got the Liquid Lightning, so I go for the Onslaught, light attack, surprise attack. He's almost dead. My buddy's just going to line up his burst here, leap, whip. You see I got a Purifying Light on me. My buddy finishes off the kill that I could not. Now we got a Bomber here, and so we got a Bomber and we have a tank, and the Bomber keeps going out of stealth, and he's very mobile. And even though I have Camel Hunter doesn't have a great range, and so I'm gonna do some things to kind of goad this Bomber out. So we're gonna focus the tank, and literally we're just going to wait until he comes in, and then I'm gonna try and slap him with some burst. You see my pot's not up yet. Basically, we're like at this point, I tried to onslaught him, and he did a good job of just dodging perfectly. So I switch to my detect pots. I wait till I have my Spectral Bow up. I wait till he comes out of stealth. So I mark him. Now I have my Spectral Bow. Pull him out of stealth. 13k Spectral Bow plus an execute. He dies. And now we can actually focus the tank and take him out. But yeah, just a quick way to like pull him out of stealth, because once they go back into stealth, they typically think they're pretty safe. Bombers are pretty squishy. That Spectral Bow just deleted his health bar. So definitely recommend running detect bots on you basically at all times. I was going to go down to the resource. We see they all piled and came back, so my buddies fight a few people. He almost has this one dead. I just do the finishing poke and do something that he couldn't do. Help him finish his kill. 12k onslaught there. We almost get the kill here. I'm just trying to finish it up. He puts a Purify down, so I have to back off of that. You see we have a Sork, and we have like a healer in the background, so I'm going to focus the Sork. Catch him with a 16k spec, and he dies. And so at this point I'm taking a bunch of damage. I pop a rally, pop my vigor, go back in, hit this guy with a surprise attack from stealth, light attack, surprise attack. I get stunned just as I'm about ready to finish this, and now I get stun locked, and now I'm trying to pop my rally. It doesn't work. I block cast my vigor there. It didn't work. Luckily, Blappin's got my fucking back here. He pops like 3 coags on me. Game just doesn't work sometimes. Sometimes you think you activate rally, it does the little mini animation, and you don't get rally. Sometimes you think you're popping vigor, and it does the little mini animation, but you don't get your vigor. And yeah, so Blappin sacrificed himself to save me, and so now he was going to hop off anyway, so he hops off at this point. And yeah, so at this point I have a 1v1 versus this guy, so we're just going to go in and have a little 1v1. Versus Stamplar. And at this point, you just want to make sure you're not taking a bunch of Power of the Light Burst. You want to keep your shuffle up because you have that major evasion. And you see a time stop come in. Stamplar is not running the time stop. There's somebody else in the area trying to CC me, so I got to be careful with this. I take a stun from that, so I'm going to pop my Vigor, keep my shuffle up, keep my siphoning up. I thought this guy was the one doing time stop, so I go to focus him. Light attack, surprise attack, plus an ult. Take a Meteor with a nasty stun. Takes a bunch of my health bar, plus I have Power of the Light on me, so I'm going to block that, pop my heals. I'm at low resources, and I can't get back up there now, so I gotta go around the side, go back up. I almost have my pot back, so I'm gonna get my buffs all up. And at this point, we find the person that's actually hitting us with a time stop. We're gonna focus the sword first, though. I hit him with a spec bow, drops him to lower health, and we're gonna go in with a concealed weapon, plus an onslaught, plus an execute. We get the kill there, and now we have the one time stopping us. And so we're just gonna buff up in stealth. We're gonna hit with our Reaper's Mark, light attack, surprise attack, bash. We get locked in talons. Once again, we just light attack, Reaper's Mark once again, light attack, surprise attack, bash. Hit him with a really nasty burst, and he dies, and that's the end of the fight. So go back up here to pick up my buddy, but yeah, he said he was hopping off after that fight. Had to go run some errands. But yeah, that's the build in action. I will provide a link to the other clips that I've already posted from my 540 CP account. Obviously, you build things a little bit differently, depending on, the race of your Nightblade, depending on, how much CP you have and all those sorts of things. So if you guys have any questions in that regard, please let me know. This build's pretty easy to put together. You don't have to go out and farm pretty heavy. Blood Spawn's easy to get. You can buy Shield Breaker. You can craft New Moon Acolyte. You can buy Potentates. So really easy to get. Really effective build in my opinion. You can obviously add more recovery. You don't need to hit people with 10 to 14k surprise attacks, but why wouldn't you want to? That's the end of the video. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.